Hey everybody, you are watching and listening to the We Are Rising podcast. This is your host Andrew Benjamin. I'm joined once again by my good friend and co-host for the day, Mike S. Mike S from Ohio. Mike from Ohio. How you doing, Mike?
I'm good, Andrew. What's going on?
Oh, not too bad, not too bad. Things are good. Things are good in life. Um, it was an interesting weekend. This
Want to
past
know?
weekend, lots of MMA going on. Uh, what was it? What was on last week? So we had a UFC fight night. There was
hmm
Pereira versus Hernandez. Um, there was a
Kim Zhu getting knocked out by Murtazaliev.
oh yes. We had JMA the J. I see. I initially misread. I thought it was called the JMMA Expo. That there was only one mixed martial arts fight. But the JMA Expo. Wasn't there also a K1 show? No.
No, no. There was a Rise show.
Who could forget PFL? PFL as well.
Yeah,
I was thinking like, PFL has Pereira, while the UFC had Pereira, and I was wondering if PFL was like, oh, maybe we lucked in. Maybe people will mistake our show for the UFC
fight
show
night.
because it's his name is close to Pereira. But
Yeah, that was disappointing that Michelle Pereira got beat, but what can you do?
he'll be back. He'll be back. Um, but yeah, the JMA Expo, Japan Martial Arts Expo. We're going to be talking about. And first off, I'll just ask you, what do you think about the overall show, Mike?
I enjoyed it. It was fun to see the variety of rules from Ganryujima to kickboxing, the one MMA fight to the grappling. And I mean, I thought Quintet there was some good, some bad with it. The last half of it, 2/3 was boring, but we can get to that in a minute. But one of the fighters certainly stood out with his grappling, that's for sure. But overall, I thought Sattari, that fight was interesting because it didn't go the way I thought it would. But overall, those rule that this had a lot of variety, and I enjoyed the hell out of it, honestly.
Mm. Um, I think it was definitely an interesting kind of like celebration of all combat sports. I I do think that they're going to have to figure out a way how to about the whole cage thing.
hmm
Try to figure out how to get that up faster. They literally meant when they said expo, they were not kidding. It was literally an expo. Like they had booths for like, well, who was it? Was a scramble or mob styles? Mob styles was there. They had like a chiropractor massage thing there. Ryzen had their own booth there.
Pancrase didn't they?
Did they? Was it Shuto or was it Pancras?
I can't remember, but I thought one of those promotions had it. I thought there were a few others. Like shoot boxing one of them?
Maybe. Um, well, but yeah, great commentary as well by Schiavello and Stuart Fulton. I'm glad that Schiavello's becoming kind of like the guy that's like, oh, like the go-to guy for all this stuff.
Yeah,
Finally.
he honestly he adds a ton. He added a ton to the two Ryzen broadcasts he did already. I think it's been two, and also this show. I would like to see Stewart commentate Ryzen with him, but I doubt that's in the cards.
Probably not. I don't. I know that's one of those bridges that has been possibly burned many years ago. I was wondering. Well, I was actually curious to see when Fulton and Ryzen came to where they were in the same movie. I was like, oh, this might be a little bit awkward.
Yeah, but they weren't they at the same booth? Wasn't he at the Ryzen booth with Schiavello?
Yeah, that's the thing. I was like, oh yeah. I'm like, oh, is this going to get awkward? Is this going to get a little bit awkward? But yeah. Well, I'm trying to think. I think
It did look like a good crowd. I mean, according to Zach in the Discord, I think it was what 75-80% full, whatever it was.
so. I think okay. So my interpretation of that whole of the attendance. So when they had to release more seats, so I don't know if this show was sold. I don't think this show was not sold out,
No,
but
but it
they
had a good crowd.
definitely. It seemed like they definitely had a crowd that was there to see Cozy.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Uh,
it looked like a good sell. It looked like a good crowd. They were hot for that Koji fight.
Oh, also, I wanted to give say as well, props for the subtitles on the VTRs and all that
Yes,
stuff.
that was really nice.
I didn't recognize the voiceover guy. That it's a. Have you heard that? I know it. Well, actually, just take that back. I've heard that voice before.
Has
I
he
think
done? Did he do some of the English K1 videos?
I think so. Also, remember when New Japan used to have? They used to do the announcing. They would have the dude in Japanese, and they would have. Well, first they'd
Yes,
have the guy in English. I
yes.
think that's that same guy.
Is it?
I
And they
think
also
it
had
is.
that J. They had. Oh my god. I forgot his name, but I'm pretty sure they have the old English Sengoku announcer, Jay Maxwell.
Was that him?
I
Oh, okay. I wasn't even paying attention. Yeah.
Maybe it was, but I know I recognize that voice.
Oh, okay. Isn't Tanikawa? Isn't he connected with Sengoku? No.
No, he was K1 Dream
Yeah. You're right. You're right. Dream. That's what I was saying. Yeah, K1 Dream.
and Heroes.
Oh yes, and Heroes. Okay, that's interesting. I have to go back and watch that. By the way, also thumbs up on the $9.99 price as well.
Oh yeah, that was you can't beat that. Like this was, I would have paid 15-20 for this one. That's how good this show was.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if it was a case of them putting it lower so that they can get more people, so that more people would opt in to hopefully buy it.
Oh yeah, and honestly, I would if they do another one. I would keep the same price point just to get some more exposure, and then maybe eventually up it a little bit. But I think that's a good starting point, especially because to be fair to Tanakawa, this was really short notice.
Yes. Oh yeah. So what do you think is how do you see this if they do another show? How do you think it should be? Like, is this a monthly thing? Is this every tri-monthly? How do you see this kind of going
Maybe you
about?
could do it every quarter, maybe every 3-4 months, maybe, as long as you can come up with like a concept to keep it fresh. I do think they need to have more MMA fights. I would also really think long and hard about who you bring in for quintet, and maybe try to figure out a way to get the action, more action, because I just thought that the 8 minutes with nothing but really defensive grappling that was really kind of boring, if I'm being honest.
Chris Cushman says annually, and I think you make a good point. I think that's a good point as well. So here's the problem though, is that you're going to have this show is going to be okay. So like my idea for this whole thing was kind of like almost like I saw it envisioning as like kind of like an all together. If you remember all together, when
the indie show.
No, when New Japan, All Japan, and Noah did that stuff for like the earthquake,
Yes.
and all that. So
Yes.
that was kind of how I was visioning it, where it's like, oh, you kind of like have this thing maybe kind of almost once a year. But also, here's the other thing: is that you have the element of, listen, the Rizin fighters are going to give priority to Rizin. Box kick K1 to K1. You have the freelancers who are doing, D, Pancreas, Shuto. Some are probably in pro wrestling. You have the grapplers who are doing the Asia IBJJF. So problem is it's going to be because this is like no one's going to be an exclusive fighter to this promotion. That's not how the type of promotion that does that.
No, it kind of felt like what Rizin originally was intended to be, actually.
Oh yeah, yes, and that's how Rizin almost kind of started. Right. A little more emphasis on promotion versus promotion, but I see what you mean. But yeah, I think you said quarterly.
Yes,
I think it's possible that it could be done quarterly, but again, it's gonna be, oh boy, like again, I think one of the reasons why this card was put together kind of last minute because you really don't have that much. Like you're gonna have fighters
2 times a year then.
Sorry,
2 times a year then.
Maybe like a summer winter thing.
Yeah, I could see that, but you'd probably have to make arrangements with with Tanakawa would probably have to make arrangements with the other promotions like Rizin, Deep,
Well, because
K1 Rise.
if you are like undefeated in Rise and you have 4 or 5 wins, you might just wait for that Super Ryzen or that New Year's Eve Saitama show because maybe you'll get a title shot or something, or same
Or
thing with Deep,
or do a grappling, or just do a grappling match. Or how about this? How about do like, I don't know if I forgot if we discussed this, but maybe like shoot style pro wrestling.
Oh yeah, I think that was asked by Falling Star. Was that Falling Star who asked it? Yeah, I'm not opposed to that. It's
No,
UWF style.
yeah, I mean, it would add something to the show. Honestly, that'd be unique.
I mean, I'll say this: I did enjoy the Inoki Bombaye kind of version a little bit more. I kind of like that I like that, but if you I think the idea. I think they're kind of just going for both of them the same idea. That one was a little bit more in terms of pro. If you want to bring that type of pro wrestling match, I'm fine with that because that's kind of like what Inoki would do.
Yeah, Inoki was a jack of all trades, kind of guy as far as styles go.
So Kobe says the mission statement on the website is to do this overseas. I am not their accountant. I am not their auditor, but I would not recommend that at this point.
Yeah.
By overseas, if they mean doing it in Korea or something, yeah. But whenever I hear Japanese companies say overseas, I just assume they mean America. They don't mean anywhere else. They just mean the U.S. That's what I always assume. Anyway, let's get into this card. What do you think? You want to start from top down or bottom up? I don't know.
Let's do from the first one to the last.
Okay. One. Okay, gotcha. So let me find it right here. So Noel gets the first sub of the night over Hikaru Kido. Now, I hope you get the reference to Noel first from the famous Christmas song, The First Noel. Anyway, totally did not go the way that we thought. That the 16-year-old MMA fighter beats the accomplished grappler.
Yeah, and I believe it was guillotine. Was it?
It was a guillotine. I don't know. I don't know why Tapology says was a sleeper choke or a front choke. That was a guillotine. That was like
it was a guillotine, and wow, I was really impressed by that. I hadn't even heard of Noelle prior to this, and I believe she's 3-1-1 in MMA. Was it?
Yes. Yeah.
She's a prospect to watch in MMA, but as far as this went, for her to be able to beat Kido like that and to get I believe Kido's a world champion.
Yes. Oh yeah, she's a black belt.
Damn, like that was just so impressive. Like I was genuinely surprised. I don't know much about the Kido's credentials, but I thought she was going to win this handily. And then for Noelle to just win by the way she did it was just a surprise. And like I said, she's going to be in Rizin someday, I think.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot of. I'm hearing a lot of things about the atomweight division going forward. Let's just say they're not good things. That's all I can say. But yeah, if Rizin needs a talent, she's right there. So I definitely feel like that they should try to get their hands on Noelle. Lest the UFC decide to make a atomweight division and get to her first.
Yeah.
Moving on. Oh, let's try this again. Carolina de Amorim Kuwahara makes Quentin Tarantino happy with a toe hold sub over Azuki Nakao. Now, this went exactly as I thought. Yeah. Clearly, exactly as I thought.
Yeah, Kuwahara did what she had to do. I mean, it was a slick submission. Not much you really need to say about it.
Yeah, I mean, Nakao, she was highly touted from the AACC gym. Ayaka, she's a student of Ayaka's. Oop, like that, lose you?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Weird.
I think it's on your end, sir. Okay. All good. It's just a picture.
Got it. Can you? All good. Is my picture fine now?
All good. Cool. Yeah. Nakao, I clearly though is more of an MMA person than a grappling person. I think this was flyweight, if I remember right.
Was it 125, 135, something like that?
Yeah, I think. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's so funny that these two, like, I know that everybody hates grappling for whatever reason. But I'm hoping that these two fights kind of made people realize, oh, grappling can be fun and exciting.
As long as you match people up, long as you match the right people up.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, without doubt, probably the best grappling match of all time could be, some would say, Cade Ruotolo versus Levi Jones. Levi Jones. Levi. I'm forgetting his name. Levi, but from this Craig Jones Invitational. But yeah, isn't it? It's kind of funny that they did two women's grappling matches. They didn't. I mean, I guess yeah, the quintet match, but they didn't do a men's single quintet match.
I found that a little surprising too, but honestly, I'm not complaining because two awesome submissions.
Yeah, yeah. By the way, did you happen to find out those three prelim matches that were before these two?
Yeah, the fighters really weren't very good.
So apparently those were Unext exclusive. And it was funny. I think that one of them must have bled because when the show started, you could just see blood on the mat already.
Yeah, you could. And if I remember, a couple of them were like mid-late 30s, I think most of them were. And the records were like 1-1, 2-1, 2-2.
Oh, they were all like they were like, I think they were breaking. They look like they're from Breaking Down. I could be wrong though.
Okay. But it didn't. Nothing we have to watch. How about that?
No. And listen, if your thing's on you next, and I'm like, okay, already, then you don't want me to watch it. Chris Coachman is right. High level grappling is fun to watch, especially scrambles.
It is. Or rather, it can be.
The guy who was arrested fighting who's fighting
Kimura
was arrested. And any news? No news yet. Well, so off to think about so when you get arrested in Japan, as you probably listen with the anyway, they can hold you for, I think it's 21 days,
21 days. It was something like that. And didn't Kimura, wasn't there something about him sending an illicit picture to a woman?
Yes. He's not having a good time. He's not having a good time right now.
Is he just having a meltdown, or what the hell's going on with him?
I think he's just a dumb person. He's just a dumb. I've heard people have interacted with him, and he's just really dumb. Like all the brains are here, not up here. But yeah, so there's no news because we won't hear news until about maybe 20 like how many ever days that he's been arrested. And the crazy thing is, I can't remember if Ensign explained it. What they can do in Japan is they can release you, then they can rearrest you, and so the time starts all over again.
That's wrong.
So yeah, and especially because this is weed, this is drugs. Listen, and I don't know how Ensign really like. I think there's attitudes in Japan that are changing towards drugs and weed and all that stuff. You're still gonna get arrested and in trouble, but it's not. I think it's no longer. It's not. It's less. It's becoming less of a
stigma.
I guess a bit of a stigma.
Taboo?
Yeah. It's listen. You're not gonna get executed like in Singapore or Malaysia or whatever, but you're gonna be in jail. You're gonna have a shitty time, and then I think Ensign even said that he's gonna eventually get deported as well. So I don't know what that does for his. Like, I guess I don't know if he's banned from the country or if he's just going to be deported and he's going to be banned for a certain amount of time. But Kimura is we're gonna hear some bad stuff about Kimura. Probably give it about a month or so. Ensign's fire ditched him. Yes, it was implied that Sudario ditched him. It was Can I say I'm not surprised from people who've interacted with Sudario. It's not something that he doesn't come across as a swell guy, I'll say. Moving on to the last grappling thing of the night, I can find it here. Team Rizin beats Team Saku Jr. By the way, isn't it funny? Uchishiba was the team captain, yet the team was called Saku Jr., which is really, I don't understand that.
That was weird.
Yeah, but anyway. Only one submission. It was the Yokoyama, who was probably the best grappler on the team, getting on maybe the worst grappler of the other team.
The Kyrgyz, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's really see the concept of quintet is great when it works. When it doesn't work,
It's boring.
Oh, it sucks. I do like that the referees do press the action. They demand some sort of movement, pressure, and I think that was most evident with Naoki Hirata and Yokoyama. I think those two probably had the best pure 8 minutes of grappling. By the way, if I'm Yachi, I'm like happy because this was probably the easiest payday of his life. He didn't have to do shit.
Yeah, he didn't have to do anything.
I'll say this:
cheerlead.
I did, Saku Jr. and Kuramoto had pretty good stuff as well. I definitely feel though that Kuramoto was definitely there to like kind of stall.
Yeah, he was. He definitely was. He had some good submission defense.
Yeah. Oh, listen, that he got put in that not heel hook, but ankle lock. Yeah,
or ankle lock. Yeah.
He didn't tap. He did not tap.
No, he didn't. But as I implied earlier, the guy I was talking about was Takeji Yokoyama. He looked phenomenal.
Yes, yeah. I do think it's funny he's only had 2 fights in Rizin and yet is considered Team Rizin anyway. Yeah, no, listen, Yokoyama is legitimately one of the best jiu-jitsu guys in Japan.
Yeah, and if his striking can even get up to even a remotely decent level, he's going to be a hell of a contender.
But if you saw the match with Majima, he's a guy that, and we saw in this match, he pulls guard, he brings guys down. But like if you can negate that, you can pass them, then you basically have won the fight. That's what Majima did in their fights. So
agreed. But either way, I thought that those parts of it were exciting. The rest of them, not good.
Captain Africa and Kitaoka, absolute dog shit.
Ugh.
Didn't they? I think they both got eliminated. I think did they finish? Did they go to a draw or did they?
No, they got kicked out within 3 minutes or something.
Yeah, because they got the yellow card or the red
for
red
stalling.
Card. Yeah. What do you think of Uchishiba? He sucks. I hate to say. I'm sorry. This guy got taken. He got taken down by Suguru Ni. You're a former
judoka.
You're a former Olympic judoka, and you got taken down by a guy who I don't think whose judo is like that good compared to you. He also looked overweight. He did not look in good shape, man.
No,
he looked. I don't know how he prepared for this fight, but he looked like he.
Yeah. Long story short, I never want to see him again. So.
Yeah, so here's the thing, though. That's probably not going to happen. He's already made this many appearances. We're going to probably see him again, unfortunately.
Yeah. Unsavory character.
Oh, yeah, yeah. There was something else I was going to ask about this. Oh, yeah. So, but are you a fan of do you want to see a Team Quintet matchup again in the future if they do this again?
Yes, but they have to do a better job of picking the people.
How would you do? Would you still do like Team Rizin, or would you do a different type of thing? How would you?
I would just go by gyms, actually.
That's interesting. The thing is that though, I don't know if enough gyms have that many good people to have to have a 10-person match.
Right, or maybe reduce it to 8.
Well, so 4-on-4.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. They do the. I don't think. That's not too bad. I mean, the thing is that those kind of like you have one of the most interesting things is that like you have these mix of styles and you have these people who come from like everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And like here, here's the thing. If it was like gym thing, like if it was like Team Igloo versus Team Black Belt, Igloo would mop the floor with Black Belt. The problem is that like there's the two. Let's see, Bonsai and Igloo. Okay, if you want to do Igloo versus Bonsai, that could be
Carpe Diem.
Carpe. That could work, but I think that Igloo and Bonsai probably the top best jiu-jitsu gyms in Japan. Like if you want to do that I'm interested in. See like Kleber, take on, I don't know, Fat Ninja or something.
That would be, if you want to do it open. If they're willing to do open weight, that could add something to it.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
And knowing Kleber, he probably wouldn't give a damn anyway.
Oh no, Rizin versus Brave or BKFC. Wait, for grappling, BKFC. I don't know if I want to see.
If it's Ganryujima, I'm all for it.
Yeah, Ganryujima was kind of like unofficial BKFC in a way for this. Would you like to see BKFC like be a part of this or no?
If you do some Japanese fighters in it, then yeah, I wouldn't mind it.
Okay. Yeah. Speaking of Ganryujima, we got right into the moat fighting. By the way, I thought they were going to wear the uniforms. They didn't wear the uniforms.
Yeah, that was kind of weird, but I still enjoyed it.
I wonder if that's because they had guys in there that are clearly not like. I mean, like if Ruann was wearing the thing, he'd be like taken down like every fucking second, probably.
Yeah, he would, because Shrek would have just clinched with them and then threw him.
Yeah. Split decision. Do you think this was where do you think they got that?
I don't fucking know. I legit don't know what one of the judges was watching, because Shrek won that fight handily.
So do you remember when Shrek had him on the ground and Ruann did this like upward punch that like I think it split open Shrek, I believe.
It might have.
I think that he may have just gotten the punch that win, or that the judge thought he won based on that, because I don't know how else. There's really
he got taken down at will.
By the way, did you see how that they were? How did you see the? I guess tech people adding the smoke effects.
I did. I thought I just couldn't help but laugh at that.
What do you think of the production overall? The production was pretty darn good overall.
I thought the screen with the names and all that, I thought that was really nice.
Yeah.
It felt, honestly, some of the production felt better than some landmark shows, honestly.
Oh, landmark shows are always going to be.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying compared, I'm assuming like Rise and a big promotion to something that was just thrown together.
Yeah.
I was very impressed.
Wow. So speaking of impressed, how impressed were you with Shrek beating this 6'7" boxer?
He, as expected, did what he had to do. He looked slow as hell. He was Shrek.
He was Shrek, yes.
I mean, there's not much really to say. I mean, he's just going to plot in and not move his head, and who knows what the hell happens. I mean, if I remember, did he get hurt at one point?
Oh yeah, he definitely got hurt at some. I think it was at that punch. Yeah, that punch, that upward punch that he did.
Yeah, I mean, I thought if Visser would have used his jab more, maybe he could have had more success. But you could tell he hadn't trained.
I wonder if Shrek was so short and his gravity, his level of gravity is also like down there, that there's no way that he could have really knocked him out, just because he's kind of like punching. He's literally punching down.
He is punching down, but the Shrek doesn't move his head, so there's that. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
Do you hope we get Shrek back in Rizin at some point?
Yeah, I mean, or at the very least, have him do Ganryujima stuff, if it survives. That is.
Ganryujima is so awesome. I want the most of all. Yeah, I do like the concept of it. It is a very interesting, like the whole. So remember, they had also the rule where like I forgot about that you can't
the 3 ring outs,
but also the you only can be on the ground for like 15 or 30 seconds.
Yeah.
It is. It's kind of like that old school pancreas rule set.
Yeah, it's an interesting rule set. It's just that you need to. The appeal of it was to see just the ridiculous mix of random styles. I think one of them was, what the hell was it? Was it Kazuhisa Watanabe, a boxer, versus, was it Toon Min, some Muay Thai fighter, like things like that, or Aurelio versus Sattari. Like those, that's the type of stuff that Ganryujima was known for when it was operating.
Yeah. No, listen, I think the Ganryujima stuff is just entertaining, especially because they do weird open weight shit, which we're going to talk about right now. I mean, I don't think Terutsuyoshi broke a sweat in this thing.
No, no.
It was hilarious though. That I think at first, like, I don't know why. So I get why Kido was fighting on the outside, but like he should have realized that that was not the best strategy because you don't want to be anywhere near the outside.
No, you don't. And then he should have just tried to clinch with the guy, and even if get taken down, just to force a restart.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, how did you take him? How did you even take him down? I don't even.
I'm talking about him being taken down.
Gotcha.
And then stalling long enough to, because I doubt Terutsuyoshi knows that much about ground fighting at this point.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It kind of this fight feels like it came out of nowhere. I'm not even sure the booking philosophy by it, but I know that someone who told me that they hated this fight. They said it was like absolutely useless. I thought it was fun. I just thought it was crazy fun.
Oh, it was fun. I was thinking, if I read it correctly, didn't Kido come in from a press conference in China like a day or two before the event?
Did he? I'm not so sure.
I could be. I thought I read that somewhere.
I don't remember recalling that. I read about a bunch of things on this and about pre stuff. I didn't see that. I'm not saying that didn't happen, but maybe you're right. So are you saying that he didn't have enough time to train or anything?
Probably not. I mean, this was announced on what, like 8-9 days notice.
Yeah, something like that. That's interesting. I'm gonna go check up on that.
I swear to God that I read in an interview that he claimed in an interview that I think that he was in China for a press conference for another show and then flew back to Japan for this show.
Gotcha. Okay, I'll have to check up on that now. Would you like to see more of these weight disparity fights? Of this, 30 kilogram difference?
Yes, I would actually. I mean, the rule to me, it's just embrace the spectacle.
Yeah, I think it's depending on who it is. Also,
yes, absolutely. You're not going to put. I mean, if you book say Ruann Visser versus some judoka, I could see that.
Yeah, I also think the problem is that if you put a sumo guy against a guy like a Kido, oh man, the sumo guy is gonna win every fucking time, especially with the ring out rule. That's their specialty. That is their specialty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I'll put it to you like this: you're not going to book Kleber versus I can't pronounce it. Terutsuyoshi. Yeah.
No, you're not. No, you're not. So yeah, this is a type of rule set, whatever, that it definitely depends on matchmaking. Good matchmaking happens. Now, if they're booking things last minute, that can, I don't know. That's not, listen, you may be able to get away with it sometimes, but eventually, procrastinating catches up as a procrastinator such as myself. I definitely know that.
Oh, I am too. Trust me. I know the feeling.
Speaking of Sattari, as you said, put a beat down on Marcus Lalo Aurelio.
He did. This was surprising, and this was a fun fight.
Yeah. Sattari, so I've come to realize he's an Iranian that more people like. Cena's the one that they don't like.
Yeah. Not the biggest Cena fan either, but no. I respect him. But I like Sattari. He's legit. He's a good fighter.
Yeah.
He looked good here.
He looked good, but again, this is a guy, and I underestimated him. I thought that Marcus was going to just come in with some crazy shit, and Sattari wouldn't know how to deal with it. But no, Sattari is he's a prime rib of a kickboxer.
Yeah, he's a very good, solid kickboxer. One of the actual homegrown people that K1 has.
Yeah, I just don't know. For a guy of what's his weight class? Is he cruiserweight?
I think he's a cruiserweight. Maybe light heavy, something along those lines.
The talent pool's gotta be so small for that.
It is. In the higher weight classes, it's so light. You have KG, who just knocked out 51-year-old Jerome. No, 51-year-old Jerome LaBanner. He's in an open weight tournament final 8.
Yeah. Not even Glory. Does Glory have anybody who's in that weight class even, or no?
They probably do. I'm not
Not
sure.
counting Miko Verhoeven. I don't even know what even weight class Miko Verhoeven is at this
point. He's heavyweight. I don't even know who. I haven't really followed Glory in a long time. Their product does nothing for me. Don't care, with all due respect. But I think they have some people. But
the Rise thing does look interesting. That Rise, the
Kenta Nambara, I think, is the champion at light heavyweight.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah,
yeah. And then we can talk about it a little bit, but maybe Daichi Abe makes the transition full time to kickboxing.
Really? I don't know. I mean, after what happened here, I don't know. Getting his ass kicked, I don't know. He's gonna be out for a while. That's gonna be quite a cut that he has to recover from. About Marcus though, so like he retired, or like he stopped fighting full time like a number of years ago. Then he came back for Inoki Bambaye, I believe, and now he's back to this. But like, Rizin should get this guy. Like they should have him like weird showcase fights. Like, so I'm assuming he looks like he's middleweight. Maybe is he middleweight?
Yes, middleweight. The only person that comes to mind is Fat Ninja.
Well, yeah. I was gonna say, especially you got to test Fat Ninja eventually at some point with like some guy who's a great striker and like, listen, probably Fat Ninja's grappling will always. He'll always find a way to win, but like no, like Marcus, like, and also I just kind of want Rizin to have like that Huggy Bear, Chris Barnett, Pereira type fighter, and I think Marcus kind of would be that type of fighter.
Absolutely, if he's willing to do it, I would sign him to Rizin immediately because he can add something to a show.
Oh, by the way, yeah. Speaking of Kido, it would have been hilarious if Steven Skull versus whoever in JMA on the Ganryujima rules. So, yeah, what do you think about? They had the Aikido depth. First of all, Aikido is the biggest bunch of bullshit like in the world. I don't care what anyone says. The 5'5" guy who has a dojo in fucking Gifu. Maybe he knows like traditional Aikido, but like, yeah, no, Aikido is like horseshit. Karate is not. Karate is legit, like Lito Machida. That's real karate.
Francisco Filio.
Yeah, but like, yeah, Aikido is fucking horseshit. I don't care what anyone says. But yeah, what do you think? They had the ninja demonstration, and they had the.
I liked the ninja demonstration.
That was cool. It's kind of like a performance. That Aikido thing was so dumb, though. I was like, oh, give me a fucking break.
I thought the idea of it was fine. It's just I wasn't really impressed with it.
Because I just don't know what I'm watching. Is this supposed to be like? Is this supposed to be like a demonstration of Aikido, or is this supposed to be? I don't know, like what I'm supposed to think about it. It was like, it was like I was seeing a performance. I was seeing a highly choreographed performance with it.
Yeah, it was.
And then they had the samurai. They did the samurai sword thing.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
I'll say this though, I did enjoy these demonstrations much more than Tenshin skating with a random rapper. Remember that from the Rizin New Year's Eve?
Yeah, I do. The gold medalist because it was the 2021 COVID Olympics.
Yeah, listen, if Rizin has something like this, or they could just have the ring girls dancing for us or something, I'll take that over seeing Tenshin getting knocked out by Mayweather on loop over and over again. So we move on. I think next was the MMA match. I believe it was.
No,
it wasn't.
I thought the seventh fight was the seventh fight Kota Sugimura.
Okay. Yes. I think you're right. Yeah. That's my bad. Because they built the cage. I remember. Yeah, they built the cage, and then they had the kickboxing one. Yeah. So yeah, the 17-year-old beat the old man.
In his professional debut.
Professional debut, nonetheless, yeah.
And he fought a good, solid veteran in Hikaru Machida, who fought in Rizin before against Taiga, as we said on the preview. I was really impressed. I thought his jab looked really nice. I thought his movement was good, and his combination punching was very crisp and technical and precise for someone who's 17 years old. You give him some experience, he's got a real shot to be something. He really does. I'd love to see him, or I'll put it to you like this: whoever gets him K1 or Rise, they're getting a blue chip prospect.
Well, I don't know. I just might deflect to saying that K1 should just get him because Rise has enough people. K1 just lost Yuki Yoza,
They
so
did.
yeah, so yeah, K1 needs people badly. It
Yeah.
is K1. We were talking off air about like draws. Man, K1 is soon going to be a fucking desert. We're gonna be watching Cena versus Claudio on repeat many times if they continue losing people.
Yeah, I'm wondering why that is, but that's a discussion for another day.
But listen. I think so. This was at featherweight, I believe.
I believe so.
So I think obviously Rise has the better featherweight division.
Yes.
Do you think he could make 135? There's also a good amount of talent on that side
I
of
don't
the.
see why not, but he's 17, so he's gonna grow pretty quick.
Yeah, yeah. Do you think we'll see him one day on a random prelim kickboxing thing in Rizin?
Maybe. Where is he from?
I believe he's from Tokyo.
If he's from Tokyo, then maybe, but I would imagine he'd be more likely to be on like a world match show or a Rise World Series or El Dorado next year.
Fighting out of Japan. Thank you, Topology. I'm pretty. Oh wow, no. I'm sorry. Not why did I say Tokyo? He's out of Amorim,
Amorim. Okay.
which is that north or is that south?
That I'm not 100% sure on.
Okay, Tohoku region. So I'm pretty sure that is north. Yeah, because there's a lot of mountains. I could be wrong though, but
So more like, is that near Hokkaido?
yeah, that's north. Oh yeah, that's towards Hokkaido. Yes.
So maybe if they go back to Hokkaido, you can put him on like maybe in one of the first couple fights on a Hokkaido show.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see him go to like an actual kickboxing promotion, like a Rise or K1.
Yes.
Um,
or even start and Crush.
Yeah, if K1 could get him, I don't know at this point. Well, who knows? Maybe one will sign him for all we know, because one's signing every kickboxer on fucking planet Earth, or at least every Japanese kickboxer. So
yeah, I mean, Yuki Kasahara just fought today and lost, but he was someone who was in Rizin.
Yeah. Wait, that was for one? He was in one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, he won his first fight, lost his second one today. I forgot who it was to though.
Falling Star says, with Turkey Al Sheikh looking at the Japan market of Inoue at first priority, do you think in time that Turkey will look at Rizin at potential Riyadh season investment?
I didn't even know he was looking at. That's the first I've heard of this.
What? Okay, I don't know anything about Sheiks. Who is he exactly?
He is the head of the Saudi Sports Authority, Entertainment Authority. So he has a real big war chest. He's been boxing's primary, like, the sponsor for a while. Like, he's essentially the matchmaker.
So he's the one who's like booking like Nagano and Fury.
Yes, or at the very least putting the money behind it.
I mean, if he wants to, he can do it whenever the fuck he wants, because he's a sheik. He's got a war chest, like you said. So if he wants to do it tomorrow, he can fucking do it tomorrow.
I mean, honestly, with Inoue, I think he'll beat Sam Goodman pretty handily. I think the plan would be for him to come to America, and I would imagine fight Angelo Leo, the WBO featherweight champ. I believe it's WBO featherweight champion, and then potentially fight Nakatani.
Well, here's the thing. I'm waiting for Inoue and Tenshin to fight. That's the one I'm waiting for eventually.
See, I don't think they're going to fight because Tenshin's at 118, Inoue's at 122, liable to move to 126.
Oh, but that's a big money fight.
I know it is, but I would say he's more likely to fight Yoshiki Takei for the WBO bantamweight title.
Probably right, but I would still, if what weight class does Inoue's brother fight at again?
Takuma is at 118. He just lost his title.
Okay, because my whole projection was that eventually Tenshin would face little Inoue, and then
Takuma,
face off against big Inoue.
Yeah,
because that would be if you beat. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I was going to
Sure.
say the other world champion at that weight class is Ryosuke Nida
Okay.
or Nishida, IBF champion.
Yeah, I can't watch that card due to location. Triller fucked up the stream rights. Oh, you're talking about the KSW Reaper Jones. Is that what you're talking about? Because I see you mentioned KSW before. Please correct me if I'm misreading what you're talking about. But let us know what you're referring to. Off says I heard that guy from Breaking Bad. Wait, Breaking Bad or Breaking Down?
Breaking Down, I think.
That's what I thought. The guy with the face tattoos, Junshi Urita, going to be in the next one.
Next one, what?
Do you mean for Rizin or do you mean for the JMA Expo or just clarify what you mean by that? Reaper Jones. Oh, K1. Okay. I don't think Triller fucked up. I think that's all K1 because they're run by. I'm gonna just put it plain. They're run by fucking morons. Like at this point, if they haven't figured out their shit, that's on them. Like I just don't fucking care anymore.
And I will say I don't how much Kakuta actually has power over that. Who the hell knows?
Kakuta is like maybe if any of you have seen the movie The Last Emperor, he might be Puyi at this point because I have no idea what this guy is actually doing for K1. And if they really are controlled by this outside company, well, first of all, I don't believe that because how are they on K1? How are they on Fight 1 month and then they're not on? They can't be on Fight the next. And then they could show the fights on YouTube with English commentary as well. I don't know. They need to figure out
their shit.
Yeah, they really need to figure out their shit. It's beyond. I don't know how to incompetence would be a nice term, but I think it goes even beyond that.
Basically, they're like the Futurama chicken lawyer.
Funny, I like that. Let's go to Seoul MMA fight. Tae Young Yoon, I would definitely say in a upset.
Yeah,
Daichi Abe's head for a win. It was funny. Yeah. I don't know. I never seen a fight get stopped when both fighters got cuts. I know it's probably happened before, but this is the first time I can recall it happening, where both fighters cut each other, and then they stopped the fight to clean up both fighters, and then I guess they're assessing which one was worse, and they were like, "Oh, Abe's is definitely worse."
Right, and then there's also that Abe was getting lit up in the second round.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Abe was. Yeah, it wasn't close to a finish, but yeah, Yoon was definitely was making a comeback. If you scored it round by round, Abe the first one, at least up until the cut, Yoon I think was definitely winning the second one. Yeah, Abe is one of those fighters who he wins some and he loses some. His career is very wishy-washy.
He's just a body. He's just a body at this point.
Yeah, it's so funny. He doesn't get subbed by Marcos Souza. Then he gets submitted by Shinichi Shimizu in Deep, who does not even have close to the grappling credentials as
Shinji. Do you mean Shinji Suzuki?
Shinji Suzuki, excuse me. Yeah, Shinji Suzuki. Yeah. Then he's beating Fat Ninja on the feet clearly. Then he gets heel hooked. It was also the UFC, which that was when UFC. I was almost signing I don't know. They were signing. I don't want to say the shittiest Japanese fighters, but they were signing fighters that should not have been on UFC. I think he was 7-3 when he went to UFC or something.
Yeah, I think he was 1-3 in UFC if I remember right.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what's next for Abe. What do you think? What do you think the next thing will? Do you think he'll get a fight in Rise, and you think he'll go back to Deep or Pan?
Yeah, I think he'll go back to Deep and get a win or two and then come back.
Now, what about Yoon though? I would like to see Yoon get.
If it's welterweight, or middleweight, you could feed him to Fat Ninja.
Yeah, I think that's what you gotta do. I like that. Feed him to Fat Ninja. I like how every fighter, every welterweight, middleweight fighter is just put him against Fat Ninja. Then again, I don't know anybody else.
Right. The only other person, and I don't know if he's just going back to kickboxing, would be Daichi Mikami.
that guy is having. I don't know what the progression of where he's going with his career at this point, because I figure like that guy would probably have a fight in Rizin by now. But
You would have thought so. I would have. I thought he was supposed. I thought he was supposed to be on the damn expo because he was on the Trillers. He was on the Triller site as
yeah.
one of the fights.
Well, here's the thing. I wonder if they mixed up the names Daichi Abe and Daichi Mikami.
Very possible.
What else was I going to say? Well, here's the thing. Remember who is don't forget the Korean guy that fought Sudario.
I forgot.
Remember they you said those two fought. Yoon and him fought.
They did, and Yoon lost.
Okay,
I believe.
I would have no problem with a rematch if those two fought like a rematch in Rizin.
Or how about Road FC?
Or Road FC, yeah. I'm fine with that, Road FC. There's probably tons more guys to get from that weight class.
Like Black Combat, maybe?
Oh yeah. Black Combat. Yeah, maybe Black Combat as well. Do you feel the Expo can fill out the Tokyo Dome if the experience grow for each year in the next 5 to 10 years? I don't know about Tokyo Dome. Also,
Maybe.
the thing that's also an Expo. It's literally like a convention. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if you could have booths set up at the Tokyo Dome. Can you?
I mean, you could, but it probably wouldn't be the best idea because it's so expensive to rent.
So yeah, like this arena looked kind of perfect for it. What's the arena? The other Yokohama arena. What's the other?
Okay.
Budokan.
Yokohama Budokan. How about the Yoyogi Stadium or Yoyogi Gymnasium 2?
That too as well. I forgot about that. Yeah, Yoyogi Gymnasium. You can't see the problem is that like those sports. Well, here's the thing: if you did it at Saitama, all the expo stuff would be outside the arena.
Yes, it would.
Like Rizin used to do for their New Year's Eve shows, which was really cool at one point. I don't think they do that anymore, but that was really cool.
I know they do some of that stuff.
If they keep up the tempo, it might be the quality of Dynamite in 5 years. Do you mean K1 Dynamite or do you mean AEW Dynamite, Reaper Jones? You will have to clarify that for me because hopefully
I was thinking the same thing.
AEW Dynamite. Yeah, we didn't get to see the Pillman Williams because they're Unext.
But from the sound of it, we didn't miss anything.
Unext hates foreigners. Maybe go to the indies. Maybe give independent promos a shot at like Deep and Gladiator. K1 Dynamite. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, it could be, but K1 Dynamite did not last that long, unfortunately. And then
it lasted. Hold on, from 03. If we're counting a K1 only event that wasn't the 02 collaboration with Pride, 03 to 10.
Oh, okay. I thought it was shorter. My brain was like, it seemed like it was shorter. Okay, 7 years is not bad.
No. But the dip, there was definitely a dip in quality, like ratings and the quality of the matchmaking, I felt after 2007.
Well, luckily, I don't think I'll have to worry about ratings at this point. I just have to worry about the ticket sales.
Right. And pay-per-view buys.
Oh, that too as well. So this fight, Taito Gunji beat Cristian Bogan. It was fine.
It was fine. It was a good performance by Gunji. He dominated.
Yeah, on very short notice, so I'll give him credit for that. Other than that, I was like, yeah.
Did what he had to do.
Yeah. It's probably the best win when a K1 fighter's got in a long time, like actual, like against a legitimate talents.
So and Gunji's another one they can't afford to lose.
So bold prediction, I think he leaves K1 next. I honestly think so. I think we're just going to see all these guys leaving K1. Kido, Gunji, just give it time. Once those one contracts come in, it's for K1. I almost feel bad for them, but I also kind of don't because of how dumb they're run. What about this Cristian Bogan? Will we ever see this Romanian gentleman again?
Yeah, I don't see why we wouldn't see him in Rise.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he may have been
He's
dominated, but I thought
he's a fighter because they would bring him in to lose to like a Kento Haraguchi or like someone like that.
Kaiju
as well, yeah.
So no, I mean, I thought he was fine. I mean, he got outclassed, but I didn't think he was out. I didn't think he looked completely out of place at all.
Yeah, no, same here. Same here. It was fine. It existed, and because I don't like exhibition boxing matches, of course, this ended in a draw. Apparently, they used 32-ounce gloves as well. Did you see that?
I did hear that. Yes,
That's what Koji said, and I was trying to like look at the gloves. I'm like, yeah, these gloves look large. I don't know if they're 32 ounces, but they looked large.
they did.
What was strange at the beginning was how Buakaw didn't like throw any strikes at all.
Yeah,
I thought that
he
was
lost the first round.
Yeah, I mean,
Then dominated the last two.
yeah, I mean,
He was warming up.
I hesitate to say that I enjoy this or not because I don't like matches that end in draw. Oh, I don't like the whole draw exhibition thing.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think? Okay, I think it was more interesting what Koji had to say at the end. How he said, like he insulted fighters who take steroids. I was wondering,
I wonder who he could be referring to.
Do you think he's trying to get a match with Ren?
That, or maybe if Kimura ever comes back.
I don't think he would. I thought it was more of a dig at Ren. I wasn't. I think because those two. I mean, first of all, I would not recommend that Koji fight Kimura, roided Kimura or non-roided Kimura. The Ren fight is a lot more closer. Like in terms of their respective like weight,
their size. Yeah.
I thought it was a call out to Ren. That was my interpretation. And I think
first off, Koji's coming off a loss against Ashizawa, and Ren's on to bigger and better things.
Yeah, but listen, people are going to still call out Ren, because right now he is maybe the biggest name, one of the biggest names in Rizin. So I wonder if that was his way. Well, if that was his way of saying, like trying to challenge for the not the BMF title, the Last Man Standing title.
I mean, honestly, I would, if they booked him in a kickboxing match, I wouldn't be opposed to that.
Well, like I said, I always thought that the Last Man Standing could be like an open weight title. So you could have like anybody of any weight class, and then the rules or whatever the rules are for those matches.
Right.
And
right.
Then,
I will say, as far as this fight goes, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a hell of a fight. Koji's got a damn good chin.
Yeah, he's still got a chin after all these. I don't even think Takaru knocked him down when they fought.
I don't remember. I mean, he gave Takaru a lot of problems.
Yeah. And like you said before, you could tell that like I probably. Well, how much? Let's say that this crowd was 3,000 people. I don't know.
What's that?
Let's say this crowd was 3,000 people. I would probably put about maybe 1,500, maybe even 2,000 of them were there for Koji.
I thought it was more like, I think it looked like maybe 4,000, but I could be wrong.
I think you hit it though that 78% were there for Koji.
100%. And this show doesn't do as well as it did without him, I think.
Yeah. I would listen, if this fight had an actual winner, I would be like more high on it, but I just don't care. Buakaw. Where do you think this guy's going to go next? You think he'll go back to K1? You think he'll have a match in Rizin? What do you think this guy's going to do?
He'll go where the money is. Whether it's China, Rizin, K1, America, one, who the hell knows?
If he goes to one, though, that means no more Rizin or K1.
Yeah, true. But he does cost a lot of money, from what I understand.
I mean, listen, you're getting best kickboxer of all time, best Muay Thai kickboxer of all time. Excuse me.
Yes, you are.
Piss off too
you
much.
are. But how much of a draw is he in 2024?
I mean, well, listen, the Ampo rematch is still something I want to see because their first match went to a draw.
Yeah, I mean, you could do that for New Year's Eve, I suppose, but would you do Ampo versus Hiramoto for the Last Man Standing title?
I would if much more than what supposedly Ampo will be doing. Supposedly, I'll just say that. What about this? Is going to sound crazy. What about Ren versus Buakaw?
I would love to see that. That's a good one. That's very interesting. Now, would it be an MMA or would it be kickboxing?
Oh, it had to be kickboxing. Though I would almost feel that their experience levels are almost the same. That you can.
How about a mixed rules?
A mixed rules? Oh, that's interesting. Oh, I didn't think about it like that. Oh, that's yeah. I think that's a great thing about last man standing is that you can kind of cater different rules for them. There's no like one set rules for last man standing. You kind of just negotiate them. That's how I always envisioned it.
Right. No, I mean, bottom line is, I thought both guys put on an entertaining fight, and I enjoyed it.
Oh, they definitely put on entertaining fights to the best of their ability. That they knew that this could go to a draw, which in the end meant nothing. But I mean, they scrapped at least the second, third rounds. Falling Star wants to know: do you hope one day this Expo team up with Fanatics so it can go international? Could you just repeat that again?
I don't think it's going to go that big, but like we said, I think it could be a like a 2 times a year event.
That was a pain to watch. I wish he could show his skill if it was a legit match. He can see if he wins that boxing. I mean, yeah, that's the thing. I also think mentally when you tell someone that if the fight goes to the end, it's a draw, I feel like you still get kind of less
half-ass effort.
Yeah.
Although those two, they were not half-ass. I don't think either of them were half-assing it.
I don't think. Maybe at first Buakaw was. Oh yeah, I hope they keep the convention feel. Yeah, I want to see a tour of all the booths and everything, a lot of shit. I really thought that was I liked Schiavello commentating, getting a massage. That was hilarious.
That was funny. I was gonna say no. Yep. I love the feel of this show. It just felt different. That's what made it so enjoyable.
Yeah, it felt different. It looked great. It had great production. No, I thought it was so funny because what was it? Roman 1 was like the week before. And I thought,
the Koei Tokeshi fight.
Yeah, and that was like the most low budget of low budget. It was in a gym, I think. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure that was the gym's cage. There was like 10 people there, maybe. It was like, wow. That was almost kind of the same concept because they had jiu-jitsu, they had what was it? What do you call it? What is it? What's it called? What's the thing called? What's the thing what's the art of the 6 limbs? What are they called again?
Or Lethway?
Lethway, yeah, they had Lethway. It was a Lethway match, I think, right? It was Lethway rules, right?
I believe there was.
Yeah. They had unlimited matches, unlimited time matches. Yeah, it was interesting. So it was kind of like the low budget. That was like the Asylum version of like this almost.
It reminded me. It looked like a lesser version of Gladiator shows at that one venue in Osaka that they always go to.
Oh yes,
Box or whatever it's called.
Yes, yeah. Oh, so Falling Star clarifies. Do you hope this expo can go international so it can draw international fighters? I think they were drawing enough international fighters at this point. I mean, look at who they got. They got Ruann Visser. They had
the Romanian kid.
Sorry?
The Romanian kid?
Yeah, Romanian Bogan, whatever it is. They had Lalo, Marcus Lalo.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm trying.
Buakaw.
So
yeah, I thought that they Sattari technically.
Oh yes.
I said technically.
Yeah, by adjacent. He's for international adjacent. I'll put him at.
Yeah.
I'm going through trying to go through the rest of the card in my head right now. I mean they had quite a few international fighters. Yeah. Kind of good, especially because they did this show on short notice as well. Yeah. I was surprised by the amount of international fighters that they got.
I was surprised by the quality of the matches, considering the short notice for all of it.
So also the other thing, Falling Star, is that they do this internationally. Do realize that means that by proxy they're going to probably have less of Japanese fighters. We saw that with the Rizin Azerbaijan show, where it was mostly people from that region, with only. I'm trying to remember who it was.
Chihiro and Chihiro.
Yeah, there were only 2 Japanese fighters on that card. So yeah, if they do it internationally, if they somehow do it in England, we'll see more British fighters, Irish fighters. If they do it in America, we'll see more Canadian American fighters.
Or Korea or China, same
Yeah,
deal.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's the one trade off is that you'll get more internet, maybe more international, but then the Japanese fighters, because I don't think they're gonna, I don't think they're gonna put Terutsuyoshi on a plane to fight on American soil. He'll take up too many seats. It'll be too expensive to bring him over. So the last question I have for you, Mike, is 3 fights you enjoyed the most.
I'm gonna go with Buakaw and Kouzi, hell of a slugfest. I'm gonna go with Sattari and Aurelio because that was a surprise, and I'm gonna go with Nori, the Nori Kido match because that was such a surprising result and an awesome finish.
I'm going to go with Daichi Abe and Yoon. That went much better than I thought it was going to be. I'm going to say Shrek and Visser just because it was that was like a classic freak show fight. I loved it. I absolutely fucking loved it. And fuck it, Terutsuyoshi versus Kido because this fight, it was so entertaining. I was laughing so much. It was hilarious. I loved it.
Yeah, I snickered. I snickered at that multiple times.
Also, it was also great to get a fight that actually has like 3 ring outs and actually get to see that in real time.
Am I able to coin mode out? Am I able to trademark mode out?
Yeah, you could do that. Oh, so that's interesting. Mighty Mouse for an exhibition JMA calling it. Hey, a grappling thing. I don't know what his thing with one is though.
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean that'd be fun.
I know maybe grappling is different. Maybe grappling like one doesn't like hold you hostage as much as MMA or kickboxing.
Who knows at this point with their contracts?
No, that would be good. Listen, that would get them a lot of attention. Here's the 3 people that would get them attention for the JMA Expo. It would be Mighty Mouse, it would be Nagano, and it would be Connor if you bought the JMA Expo. But that last one's not happening. You're more likely to see Mighty Mouse do like a quintet thing. That'd be cool though. Him on a quintet team or something like that.
It would. Or who knows? We could see maybe would George St. Pierre or someone of that ilk ever do something like that?
I don't know. Like he was supposed to, George St. Pierre is like, is he just commentating now? I don't even think.
I'm just saying. Like I'm throwing a random name out there.
I think so, but like I don't know. Like it sounds like from what I've heard him on like Rogan, and it seems like he's done like just competing in general. He's been doing it since he was like 6 years old, and it's like eventually like I don't know if the spark is run out, but like just that part of his brain is just like sit out, man.
Right, I get it. But yeah, overall, excellent show. Hopefully they do it again, and hopefully it's not at the last minute.
Yep, and hopefully better promoted, and keep it the same price point. I think $99.99 is the best price.
Oh, absolutely. Beautiful.
Mike, where can people? Oh, by the way, remember, get on Fight TV. Fight TV, you can get it. Where can people reach you, Mike? Where can they bother you?
Just on the Rizin Discord at Mike S. Or my email msalt7@aol.com. I don't mess with social media. Fuck that.
And so we're going to go through the list of We Are Rizin friends as well. J. Chris Gary has this thing for Focus Fights, linktree.com/Focus Fights. You can follow his Twitter X at J. Chris Gary, as well as Focus Fights has a YouTube as well, which you can find in the Linktree. Make sure to sub to that. J Wolf, good old J Wolf. J Wolf1 is his Twitter X, and then we can follow me tweeting stuff at We Are Rizin Pod. And don't forget, please join the Discord where we just shit post all day on Cena. Just kidding, no. We have a good time in there for the most part. But yeah, Mike, thank you so much. Thank you everybody who tuned in. Appreciate it. We'll be doing a Nagoya landmark show preview coming up in the weeks. So hopefully everybody here can join us for that. Appreciate it, Mike. Thank you again.
Later. Have a good one.